Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP! Hello, welcome to YOMP. This is the only movie discussion podcast that I think exists on the entire internet. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Simon the Honeydew Diggy Man Lane, and I am joined by the ever-fragrant G-Star Games.
There it is. Haven't heard that one in a while. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. It is I, the ever-fragrant G-Star Games.
The stinky baby G.
Stinky baby. And who's that other stinky baby?
Oh, it's me, Bouphe. Okay, Sophie. I stink. Hello.
Hello.
She stink real bad.
She's stinky. I do need to shower.
We've got too many cats, so we just smell like our cats, probably.
God. It's
Smell
true.
like cats' asses.
Especially Brenda.
Nothing can be helped.
My smelly little girl.
This week, we have watched, finally, another Sophie pick. It took, I think, 7, maybe 8 weeks.
My goodness me.
Took a while.
We had a dry run, a dry spell.
Yeah, dry spell. Do you think it was worth the wait for that?
It gave me some insight into what tickles your brain, for sure.
Oh
I'm
my
starting
God.
to piece together the puzzle. It's all coming together.
It's one of those, it's like a 3D puzzle though, is my brain, isn't it? Like there's so many different things and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then it's like, we're going to have to get the Enigma machine, basically, to figure out what's going on in there.
I think I understand now, though. I think what tickles you is bad prosthetics.
Yes.
Insane props.
Yes.
Over the top acting.
Yes.
Questionable CGI.
Body horror,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think, from because like Tropic Thunder was almost there for you, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
It was good.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
getting there. Yeah, yeah.
So I think I understand now. I think I'm on the same page, Booth.
Takes most people decades to figure it out. I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
What week are we on? Week
This is
like
18.
18.
Yeah.
This is our 19th episode. Episode 0, don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget. So this was, we watched Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, for my pick. And I put this on because I was thinking of action movies, right? And for some reason, this was the first one that came to mind.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Because, well, it's very action-packed. It is.
It is.
Could have watched Chuck Norris.
Jack Norris.
Invasion USA. We could have watched
I
that.
could have watched Death Wish. I might add that to my list,
God.
actually. I fucking love
It's
Death
oh God. It's like... okay. Yeah.
Look, I'm trying not to put too many stinkers in there, I'm like, to replace things on my list, I'm trying not to put stinkers in there until we've got rid of at least one stinker, aka Neil Breen. I'm not going to pack my list full of stinkers.
I've replaced North by Northwest. I know you usually save this till the end, but I've replaced North by Northwest. So I thought it's a bit long, maybe it's a bit dry. I need to put something more epic on there, and I've put Iron Sky on my list.
Oh.
The Nazis on the Moon science fiction movie.
I've never seen it, but, Nazis on the Moon. Is it, do they sing that song, like the one in Futurama where the whalers on the moon? We're Nazis on the moon, we carry a harpoon.
Oh my God.
I didn't,
and
Didn't
sing our
picture
Nazi
you.
tune.
didn't picture you singing a song about Nazis on this week's episode.
Right,
But I just goes
bad
to
to
show.
happen.
Well,
You never know.
if you bring in a movie called Iron Sky and it's about Nazis on the moon, what did you expect?
I was asking for it.
You were
really.
asking
Yeah.
for it.
We're Nazis on the moon. We carry
Please.
our harpoon, for they ain't no whales, so we tell tales and sing our Nazi tune.
Oh my god. We're going to get cancelled. We're going to get cancelled.
Listen, I know a lot of very good movies with Nazis in them.
Speak on it, Queen.
Yeah.
Surf Nazis Must Die. Can I add that to the list? I've got a T-shirt.
It's not a good film at all.
I'm not allowed
It's a
to. I'm
terrible film.
not allowed to wear the T-shirt out. I think because it's got the word Nazis on it, and people will be like, "Oh, you're a Nazi then?" Because notoriously, if you're a Nazi, you wear a T-shirt saying it.
Yeah, it's like wearing the red hat. You know, you can't wear any red hats these days.
You cannot. No way.
Anyway, Kung Pao. Yes, Kung Pao. So explain what the premise is of this film, because that's quite interesting.
The premise is one of those. It's one of those things where the guy who wrote it took an old Chinese kung fu movie and redubbed it, recut it to make an entirely different movie out of it. And this is something that people have done for a very long time.
Woody Allen, famously.
Yep. And I think it's hilarious. He's basically done all the voices himself. He's blue screened himself into certain roles throughout it to make
some of it very convincingly, some of it not so convincingly. But I think, that just adds to it. The
premise is one of the more interesting things, and the comedy is what carries it. The story itself is garbage.
Yes.
Which is basically a baby is born with a special gift, and obviously the baddies don't want this kid around. So he grows up and he trains. He's very, very good at martial arts, and I won't get into what his special gift is at the moment, but basically it's like he's got to defeat the baddies and find out about the evil council that are telling him to do stuff, etc.
Yes. It's a real strange one. Oh my god, I laughed so hard at so many parts. The opening I think is very strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's batshit insane. This film, like, you cannot really be prepared for the viewing experience of this, because you will see things on your screen that you've never seen before, and it'll open your mind.
And it came out in, was it 2002?
Yeah, either that or 2004. I think it
was 2002, and so a lot of my friends were. I was 13, so
oh my god,
I was definitely target age at the time. I remember my friends, especially my lad friends, that absolutely thought it was fucking hilarious and would quote it all the time. And I don't remember watching it back then.
That's a lot of nuts!
Obviously our lovely Tom Clark has used that as a as a catchphrase himself.
It's fantastic.
Obviously being the target audience there as well. So yeah, it's an oldie in a way, but it's like, did it work then? Yes. Does it work now? We shall see. We're going to discuss it. And obviously, much like Who Killed Captain Alex, I think it's the background that was definitely added to the comedy and the intrigue of this film. You know, if they'd have just made this film with all brand new actors, it wouldn't be as funny.
And this is a parody of kung fu movies, including like the mocking of like the dubbing.
Yes.
And the timing of like
God, yeah,
people opening their mouths. The dog and it's barking. One of the best running gags.
Yes.
The dog just opens its mouth, there's silence, and then a second later we hear the bark. So funny.
There's a bit where it opens its mouth, it lies down, relaxes, and then the bark happens.
Oh god.
So funny. I was trying to find like subtitles And then every subtitles I found, they were more and more delayed than the last, and I'm like, is this intentional? Like,
Oh my god.
It's part of the joke.
yeah, are the subtitles in on the joke on this? But I just removed them in the end because I think in the beginning they were speaking Mandarin or what have you, and I was like, oh god, I don't know what they're saying. Obviously,
You should put the original film on the list.
we should.
No.
It's called the
No.
what's it called? The Tiger and Crane
Tiger and the
Fist?
Crane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of these movies that was just completely forgotten, and then someone found it in like an archive, and they made this film out of it.
Yeah.
And the way that they did it, basically, the writer, Steve Odekirk?
Odekirk.
Odekirk, he wrote a script of nonsense for the people who actually had to speak something. He wrote a script of nonsense for them and then dubbed over them. So he'd say some stuff, and then
This
on
is
the
the reshot footage, not the original footage.
he couldn't give a script to them because
No.
this had already happened. Yeah, and I think it's great. I think it's so stupid and funny.
Definitely got some banger moments in it.
Absolutely, I laughed a lot throughout it. So it's one of those definite like, if you want something to just laugh at all the way through and not actually, it's not got any sense to it, really.
Yeah, so I'd seen this like probably around the same time it had come out because I wasn't sure if because I think I've seen Kung Fu Hustle as well, and
Yeah.
I think I confused both those films because I think they're both.
What?
Well, they're kind of similar-ish. They're like parody and they're like martial arts stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
I think Kung Fu
yeah.
Hustle's a bit more unhinged. I don't know. I don't remember which is more unhinged, but they're kind of similar, aren't they?
These sort of things blend together in your mind if you've seen them a long time ago as well.
Oh yeah. Like this is like years and years ago when they probably came out. So, but as I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, I'm remembering this. I remember everything.
A lot of martial arts movies blend together in my mind.
Mhm.
I'm a fan of martial arts movies. I like them. I think they're great. I don't. There's something so comforting about that era of movie as well.
Yeah.
It's just so cozy. I don't. Is it Enter the Dragon with John Saxon in it?
Oh yeah.
I love it.
The cocky guy that just wants to like fuck everything that moves.
Yeah, that's a great film.
He's kind of the baddie, kind of.
Bruce Lee movies. They're just. I like them. They're cool. Jackie Chan movies.
Oh yeah.
Rosie was
Christ,
the biggest fan of Jackie Chan when she was a kid.
He's great.
She fucking loved it. She was like, Who Am I is her favorite film, and her birthday's the same day as Jackie Chan, and she loved that.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
And then there was the fucking Rush Hour, and it's like, is it racist?
That's the
Shanghai
thing. Like,
Noon.
is this film racist?
Maybe.
Maybe a little. I don't know. It could be argued, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of white guy going.
There's a lot going on.
Stuff. I don't know if that counts as being racist.
I mean, it's
It's
part
just a
of
noise.
that. It's part of that time and humor where he's obviously doing a bunch of the voiceover. I mean, it's all him except for like maybe one person. So does he do it in an American accent?
He's not doing the L and R sounds
No,
thing.
he's not.
So that's something.
And he's not in yellowface.
Christ, no.
He also gives one of the guys like a like a Texan like a Southern accent at one point as well.
That's fabulous. I fucking loved it.
Made me laugh.
Do you want to? We'll kind of like go through some funny bits in sort of order. We don't need to go through the whole plot because there isn't much plot. To be fair,
It's insanity. It's actually insanity, and like a lot of the scenes are just like he's fighting a bunch of people, a bunch of guys in like the most batshit way possible.
Yeah, and the weird mix, the blended original footage with the reshoots and some of the like the chroma keying onto the original footage all mixed together it's wild. It's really wild.
I can't tell sometimes which is the original and like what are the inserted shots.
Because he put like the same sort of film grain on things when when it was just shot a new film.
Yeah.
So it's like he blended it really well, I think.
Yeah. There were like some scenes where like one looked insanely grainy. And then I think it was like the scene where he meets Ling or something.
Yeah.
And like I think when
Ling.
Yeah. Oh my
So Rosie watched this film more recently than I did. Like she would quote it at me all the time. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then it was recently that it was last year. That's recent, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
When she made me get Disney Plus because she wanted to watch The Mandalorian at my house when she was staying, and I was like, "I don't have Disney Plus," and she said,
"What? Who does she think she is? The fucking queen?"
Yeah, I know, right? And
Good Lord.
So I got it. I was like, well, if I don't like it, I can cancel it. But then I saw what was on Disney Plus at the time. I was like, right, great. And we watched Kong Power. I was like, I get it now. And I have Disney Plus to this day.
There's a lot on there.
I couldn't find it on Disney Plus.
No,
it's like
it's been taken
available
off
for US. If you're in
I
the US,
fucking hate
you can
streaming
watch it.
services, man.
So I guess maybe a VPN. You
They
could watch
just
it.
take shit off all the time. It's like, oh yeah, that's not available in your area, or like we did have this title, but not anymore.
VPN.
Shall we vaguely go through it chronologically? And
Yeah,
just
we can vaguely because like there's so many like standout hilarious moments.
We can focus more on the funny bits.
Yeah, I start like when I was taking notes, I literally just started writing down funny bits.
Yeah.
So there's we open with this is new footage to start off with. There's a family, and they've got a baby, and the mother's like, should we take him to the abbot? And the dad's like, no, we got to keep it a secret. And I'm thinking, oh, what a secret? But then
the baby?
I'm thinking, oh, the secret baby. But then a man comes in, and knocks on the door, and he's got an MOT testing centre logo on him.
He does. The 3 triangles.
The 3 triangles in the UK. That's the like sign that you're a licensed MOT testing centre or something. I don't fucking know. And he's like, open his mouth, and they're interested in the baby. They kill everybody. They kill his family.
And he's got like metal claws as well. This mysterious figure.
Yeah.
Does.
But the baby is too fast and strong to be killed.
He goes to stab the baby, and the baby grabs his wrist. I was fucking cracking up during all of this. He then gets like kicked in the face by the baby, and then he like does like it's like the Yoda somersaulting in the air.
Yeah.
When he fights Count Dooku.
The fucking
He's like somersaulting, rolling around on the ground,
like
doing
a goddamn
flying kicks.
cannonball. Like he's just rolling, but the fucking like CGI really in places freaked me the fuck out. Like,
so I'm sure there was a bit of puppetry going on with the
there's
baby.
There's a real baby, there's a puppet baby,
and then
there's
CGI.
CG.
Yeah,
It's
and I
crazy.
hate the CGI in this film is so awful.
It was terrible.
How
I think
dare you.
I think the CGI is what like ruins it in some places for me personally.
Definitely, 100%.
It takes me out of the movie because I'm thinking like, yeah, I like the really over the top, martial arts
comedy
stuff and the props, but like I feel that way in general, like with the old like alien films, right? So you can see that the xenomorph is like a person in a suit or whatever, or like
it's a real thing that exists.
Yeah,
and it's like
real.
Well, it's like Star Wars. They took away all the practical effects, and they're like, we can make this better with CGI.
No,
and that's the versions that they've got on streaming services now.
No,
and DVDs and shit. It's like they've
J.
ruined
Abrams
it.
brought back the practical effects for a bunch of things and people in suits.
Yeah, there are like a bunch of like the characters around the galaxy who are like puppets or people in suits and stuff. Like I appreciate that so much more than the shitty fucking CGI that just looks terrible.
But then you get things like the Dark Crystal series, which was all puppetry and it was absolutely gorgeous and I fucking loved it. And then Netflix cancelled it.
Of course they did.
Bastards.
Because it was,
fucking
because they cancel anything that's
pissed
like
me off.
decent.
I loved that.
Oh,
I
talking
was-
of piss, the baby pisses on the guy's face.
He does,
Well,
yeah. He does.
We get a nice
That's actually
scene.
important to know. But he can't get this baby. This baby's absolutely kicking ass. So
Mm.
he decides to burn the house down with the baby in it.
Even though the windows are open.
The windows are open, so the baby just gets out and rolls off down a cliff.
Oh my god!
Oh my-
the
this is-
fucking rolling down that cliff,
This is
hitting
my
all the rocks.
favorite scene in the movie.
It is fabulous.
Oh my god! It's so good.
Because
And then
yeah.
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it rolls, and then it rolls to like a pathway on the mountain, and there's a woman walking by, and I was like, oh my god, she's gonna like adopt and raise the baby. She
Yeah.
picks up the little baby, she goes, oh, so cute. She kisses him on the forehead, and then she just tosses him so he can continue rolling down the mountain.
Bye-bye.
I love that she does a little shuffle to the edge of that pathway. I'm like, where is she going? Where is she going? And then she just fucking like throws him.
Eats the baby.
And because it's so like close to the beginning, you tend to forget about it. So it's always quite
Oh my
a funny
God.
thing.
I
to
loved it.
experience.
I
One of the
loved it.
strongest fucking scenes.
Yeah, it really
Amazing.
threw me
Brilliant.
off. I was like, okay, oh my, okay.
It's great. And it's the future, and he'd grown up, and he was raised by rodents.
That baby is now a white man. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is important to note.
A white man with a terrible wig, by the way.
God,
He
that
was-
wig.
He rolled to the bottom of the gully and he was raised by various rodents.
Very.
Which I think is why we get like gophers and squirrels and stuff later on in
Yeah.
the film.
Yep.
And he
He's
has a
got some
fighting
connection.
style that is quite rodent-like in places.
He does.
He also has a dog,
He does.
That's just called dog.
a border
Yeah.
collie who called dog, who he's just there sometimes, and not
Sometimes
other
it's
times.
a real dog and sometimes it's a fake dog. Oh my god.
I really love dog.
I love dog.
and he meets people that want to fight him.
Your days are over, mister.
This is where we start with the fun dubbing. Actually, no, this bit's still shot normally as well, isn't it? This is a real scene where he's doing the first fight.
Mm.
I don't know. Is
With
the
the
woman in the
woman-
bikini in
yeah.
the original?
The woman, the blonde lady with the yellow bikini.
And he fights off everybody, and it's great fun.
And he
And
creates.
This
punches
is
a
the
hole through a guy.
This is the
With it.
fucking scene. He manages to. He just punches a completely perfectly circular smooth hole through a guy's chest.
Yeah, like
And then
meat
like
jelly.
the narrator sort of lampshades the fact that, you know, that shouldn't even be possible. It was just
He's-
look
he's
behind
shook.
there's a perfect plug of the guy's flesh on the ground. Shouldn't there be guts and blood everywhere? And there's just like this pink like cylinder of flesh that's been punched out of him.
He's breaking like the fourth wall because even the narrator's like, "What the fuck? This shouldn't be possible. There should be shit everywhere."
Yeah.
Oh, but my favorite bit is when he makes a fucking bikini for that guy. He like makes a shredded bikini for one of the soldiers.
The guy has a very bad temporary tattoo on his face as
He
well.
does, yeah, on his hairline at the front. It's beautiful.
I've seen there are people that have got like painted on mustaches in this film
Yeah.
all over
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah.
But it's the scene where he's like surrounded by all these guys in a field, and there's these smash zoom ins.
Snap
Like-
zooms, crash zoom.
Yeah,
it's
to,
so
like,
fucking
him,
funny because it goes on and on and
person,
on.
Yeah.
him, and this is when he's surrounded that he goes yee, and then he sticks out his tongue, and his tongue has got two eyes and a mouth and a tongue of its own, and then it goes yee.
That tongue.
I hate that.
I know.
I like that
Tonguey.
was Tonguey ruined it for me.
Yeah,
We
Tonguey
couldn't
It
use
looks
ruined
like
it
the
for me.
annoying orange.
Yes. Oh my god.
But also, that story could have used absolutely anything other than a bad CGI tongue.
Yeah, like why? Why couldn't they just
Because
go...
this is the guy that did all the Thumbs movies.
I know.
And
What's this
he did the
obsession
same
with thumbs?
effect on the thumbs.
Angry.
Well, I mean, the next movie after this one is called something... It's got the tongue in it, right? I'm pretty sure it's something tongue.
Tongue of Fury that never got made. It's not real.
Oh, no.
It was a fake.
I know. It's so sad, right?
A fake trailer at the end of this film for the next one.
Right. I was like, oh, wow, they've already made it. That's cool.
Nope.
And so there's but the guy throws a little pyramid down when everybody's like unconscious or dead or whatever, and you're thinking that it's going to be one of those things where he disappears in a puff of smoke, right? But it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just makes everybody get back up again.
There's like a tiny, tiny puff of smoke.
Yeah.
And it's like it went wrong. But then everyone just leaps to their feet and the fight continues.
Yeah, and he pokes all their eyes out.
Oh,
so.
You're right about the rodent fighting style. I only just noticed when you said it, I only just clocked on that he does have like a he goes into rodent-like positions.
Putting this in the main chat.
Let's not fucking forget. This is when the dog barks at a hole in the ground.
Yeah, to get the gopher.
Dog.
Yes.
He grabs two gophers and he makes nunchucks out of them.
Gopher chucks. They're
with
beautiful.
them biting down on a bit of cloth.
Yeah.
That's joining them together.
I mean, I thought
peak. Carry on, G.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I thought the whole rodent thing was just like he could get the rodents to help him in like times of need, like, using them from nunchucks and stuff.
He does do that, yeah.
He also does have a rodent martial arts fighting style, which is insane.
I guess they taught him.
They did.
Master Shredder.
Oh my god.
No, not Shredder, Splinter.
Master
Splinter.
I always get the two confused as well.
They're very similar names.
They're so similar names, and yeah, anyway. He has the gopher chuck. This is peak 12-year-old lad humour, once again.
Oh, it really is, isn't it? Beautiful.
It's absurd.
He pokes all their eyes out, and he has their eyes just on his fingers. Yeah. And they're facing forwards, which is strange, because if you poke somebody's eyes out and you get them stuck on your finger, you'd have the pupils first, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
This is the thing that doesn't make sense in this film.
It's almost like this
cinema
movie's
sins.
nonsense.
It's a goof.
So then we get to the this is where it starts to be old footage, dubbed over, etc. And I wrote down here, I can't take notes, it's too good. Because it's just so fucking funny.
There's a guy that mouths like a response to a question he's asked. And there's just silence, and he's still mouthing it. He's still continuing to say something, and then the dub says, "I don't know."
Yeah, it's the longest bit of
delay.
It's the longest line.
Yeah.
For just, I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
And we meet, I've forgotten the guy's name.
Tang? Master Tang.
Squeaky shoes. Are you talking about squeaky shoes? Or
No, that's Wimplo.
Oh,
which
God,
is
I love
Master Tang.
Wimplo.
I love him. Master Tang runs this, I guess it's like a dojo.
Yeah.
Of sorts. And
the Crane School?
The Crane School. And he wants to, the Chosen One wants to train there. And he has to convince him by sticking his tongue out. But obviously, Wimplo doesn't. Wimplo protests, and Master Tang says we have purposely trained him as a joke. He's got squeaky shoes all the way through and a wussy voice.
They did all the wrong things as a joke.
Yeah.
I could be the chosen one. He kind of talks like that, with like a whiny voice.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And there's a brilliant bit when the Chosen One wants to find the people who killed his family, and Master Tang says, "Your story makes my heart heavy and my prostate weak. My bladder is full to bursting."
My favorite bit is when he keeps swallowing fucking flies and moths.
He's
that keep
swallowing moths, and then
Jesus Christ.
he ends up in bed, and they're like, "Why are you in bed now?" And it's like they're all just crowding around him in bed.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. There's Tonguey as well.
He shows off Tonguey.
And we have a flashback to someone saying that he says, it was prophesied that there would be a chosen one. And it flashes back to saying, some guy talking to Master Tang saying, there will be a chosen one. And then
the flashback just ends.
Yeah, the flashback ends. And he says, and he also told me that it would be significant. It goes back to the flashback and says, it will be significant. And back again. That guy also killed a dog by farting, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, my God.
I laughed at the bit where they were Wimplo, I think it was bashing on Master Tang's, was it his back or his chest? It was, yes, play me like a drum. It's so good. And we meet Ling, and
oh my God, I love Ling.
Her first flash, when she just like reveals her bra.
Yeah, no, he's like, she's got what is he?
She's very shy.
Yeah, he goes, her shyness will pass very quick, and literally like a couple seconds, and then she just like flashes her bra, and it's like, okay, that was pretty fucking quick then. Fucking hell.
And then we get like a joke about fisting immediately afterwards.
Yes. Prepare the fist of fury, get the rubber glove or something.
You're about to receive the fist of fury, get the rubber glove. And they're wincing, and he's going, which one will it be?
Also, I think one of my favorite things was when there were like people in the yard in the sort of training area,
yes.
And they were like, what did they say? Our sexual preferences are our business.
And there's another bit where they go, we are wearing push-up bra. Lacy.
Yeah. That was later on. I love it so much.
But we get a training montage of him just showing off how fucking good he is at everything.
He's so good.
He does push-ups, two-handed, one-handed, finger, and then just breath ups. Uses his breath. I was impressed at this point because when he's talking to other people, they have met. I was like, oh, how did they manage to meet his eye line in this? And it's like they just superimposed his head over things. But at that time, I think it was like 11 at night. I watched this, so I was quite sleepy. But yeah, and then they give one of the guys who's running to tell Master Tang that the bad guys are coming, and he has the southern yokel accent.
Oh my God, I love that accent so much. But I think even before that, the squeaky shoes, and then they said the thing about the tongue being like the mark of infinite wisdom, and they call him Tonguey. And I'm like, but they never really. I mean, obviously this movie's just nonsense, and it's like not supposed, and none of it is supposed to make sense. But I was like desperately trying to make sense of why this tongue was like infinite wisdom, right? And
I always forget about the fucking tongue.
Well, they don't really talk about it for quite some time until like far like later on in the movie. So it's not the most important. I think when I like look something up online. This was on the Red Letter Media Reddit, actually. And I think I like was looking up about like the original scenes versus the scenes that were like put on top of the original scenes. And one of the comments in how like somebody said, you know, what are your thoughts on Kung Pao Enter the Fist? And somebody in the comments said it was terrible. The plot was disjointed and made no sense. The editing was all over the place. The dubbing was bad and in some parts didn't match the tone of the scene.
Oh my God.
Half the time it felt like I was watching some kind of surrealist comedy experiment or something. And all the comments are like, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's fab. It's great. Wimplo has a fight with the Chosen One. But Ling is saying you can't. You're bad at fighting, and you think that losing is winning because basically he's the stupidest guy. So they have this fight, and he says, "I am bleeding, making me the victor," which is a quote
so
that
backwards, isn't he?
will always be funny.
Yeah.
And in the yard, I see them walking. Is it the bad guy and Tang, or they're walking through the yard and there's a Hooters there?
Oh my god, I didn't think I spotted the Hooters.
They'd superimposed like a Hooters sign over the back of one of the buildings.
Oh my god. I didn't notice because I remember at one point they were sitting down having a meal and then they were like talking about Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco
yeah.
Bell product placement, and they'd put little bags of Taco Bell on the tables.
Yeah. So I thought that's what you meant, but I didn't notice the Hooters.
No, they do keep doing this. And then the bad guy has a very special power in which he can be hit with sticks in the crotch so many times.
Oh yeah.
And generally be hit with sticks more than a normal person would.
Yeah.
And according to a interview with Steve Odekirk, that's why he picked this particular movie to dub over to make with it, because of that scene he found so funny.
Guy being hit in the balls.
Yeah,
it was
over and
very
over again.
funny.
Yeah, in the balls and the chest and the shoulders and the ass. Like, it was funny.
He doesn't feel pain. Master Pain, Betty feels no pain.
Betty! I love Betty.
He wants
so
to be
much.
called Betty. And there's a few scenes later where he has a name tag on.
Oh.
They've put a name tag of Betty on him.
Because nobody was remembering to call him Betty, so he had to wear a name tag eventually. Oh, brilliant. So good.
Did we mention the foot scene that has the
Oh, the bleeding toe.
Yeah.
No, we hadn't gotten there yet.
The guy who, I don't know who he is. The maitre d' of a restaurant. I'm not even sure.
I don't know.
He's like his aide, his apprentice sort of guy.
Right.
Like his main dude.
Says, do as he says or he'll cut off your big toe. And then I've even put the time code, 24 minutes, 12 seconds, shot of shoe with blood pouring out of it. But scene for G, question mark?
But there was no foot. And eventually, it's gone. He gets punished so much.
It's like the Alan Partridge scene, Lynn, put my foot on a spike. It's just like that. All this
It is
blood
exactly
gushing
like
out
it.
of
Exactly.
Also, I forgot when he's talking to that wimpy guy, when he's talking to Lynn, and I think he's like trying to big up how much of a man he is and how much better he is than the chosen one. And then he goes, I got pee-pee standing up. And then
Fucking Wimplo. I hate him.
It's so good.
And then he like runs away and his
Squeaking.
the squeaking shoes are like popping off. It's brilliant.
Oh my
So
god.
funny.
There's Wimplo has approached the chosen one. He wants to fight him and he says, I rule. And the chosen one says, and who do you rule? The large dark nipple people?
Yeah.
And he does have very large
The
dark
planet
nipples.
of he says something about being very good at kung fu, and he said on what planet? The planet of the dark nipple people. I think it's that's dead funny.
Yeah.
Just to point it out, just to be a dick.
It's so funny how like he like watched this movie and then probably got high and then just was like looking at all the funny parts that he thought were just absolutely hilarious to him. And then decided to add his own sort of commentary on top. But yeah, there was like the scene in the restaurant with the guy. I mean that I can't tell if that was like I can't tell what's in the original sometimes. I don't know.
That was in the original. That's
the bleeding toe. The bleeding
No, they've cut that in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was convinced. I was like, wait a minute, is this in the original?
This is when we get one of the best jokes, and it's from Betty himself. He says,
"Oh God,
what do you get when you cross an owl with a bungee cord? My ass."
That was great.
No, the
Fabulous.
What?
The thing that made me laugh was when he went "Yeah," like
Yeah,
afterwards.
he's like Skeletor.
Yeah. He does it a lot. But like it gets more and more pronounced the noises people make.
Yeah. There's a lot of
just for a laugh.
Like arming and yawing, and I'm just. But they don't overdo it, which is good. Like they do it enough times that it isn't like annoying. You know, when it gets to maybe the end of the film. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but there was a scene like just a little bit before this where there was like a little alien creature, and I don't know if you noticed, Bouphe. It was only for like a split second. It was like a tiny little green alien creature, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't.
Maybe it was a Frenchman.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that scene in Galaxina where that little monster comes out of the egg and then it runs away.
Whereabouts was it? I'm just trying to find it.
I think it's like when he's like in the open field.
Right.
Because I remember it being outside amongst like shrubbery. I'll do a quick skim.
I'm having a look. I'm skimming through.
Yeah.
But there are a few bits where he puts in CGI pyramids in the sky and like just like puts background stuff in.
Before like the big reveal, sometimes you just see this pyramid in the distance.
Yeah.
The like bread
flying around. So yeah, the chosen one's there, and he when Master Payne says that he wants to be called Betty, he says, "But isn't Betty a woman's name?" And that causes a bit of a scene.
It does.
But then he wants to be able to handle like the same thing that Betty, formerly Master Payne, can handle, which is being hit by the sticks.
Oh my god.
And he has his friends hit him with all these sticks. And it doesn't go well for him.
It does not. He says, "Don't stop until I ask for a towel, or give," which is the sign. "Don't stop until I ask for a towel." And so he passes out because he's being beat with sticks so much.
So he
and
can't ask for a towel because he's unconscious on the floor.
So they just keep going, but they all have the same voice. To these people that are beating him up. And this is, I assume they're all brothers because he's like, "Don't tell Mom that we've done this."
My God.
And it's great because he's so unconscious that he doesn't wake up until nightfall.
Yeah.
I did laugh at them beating the shit out of a dummy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very obviously.
And then they say, "Oh, he wants to like throw us off his back."
Oh yeah,
so they climb on top of him. They dogpile him. They just gently climb on top of him.
I don't know where they got that from. Why he would want them to do that, but
because he like, you know, is so strong and he like would throw them off. I just love how tired, you know, every sort of like how labored every swing was after they'd just sort of been wailing on him for ages. Also, why was he wearing that hat? When they started that fight scene, he's wearing like some sort of Middle Eastern hat on his head.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean they beat the shit out of him, so it like falls off pretty early, but I just thought that was kind of amusing. But yeah, it gets to like this amazing scene with the woman.
Whoa,
the woman.
That's her name. She is mono-titted.
Yes,
I love her so much.
Which is, you know, I can only assume that it's because things like Total Recall, they have the lady with 3 tits.
Yeah.
Making me wish I had 3 hands.
You made me wish I had 3 hands!
So maybe, you know, maybe it's a little callback to something like that.
That's what I thought, yeah, because they were like, oh, okay, so, you know, most male fantasy is more tits, more booba, but
not less.
In this fantasy, we got the 1 tit lady.
1 tit?
And Chosen One just can't keep his eyes off that single tits.
Yeah.
I love how she like fucking somersaults off the building with her sort of leather boots and, you know, very sort of time appropriate outfit that makes no sense. And they
Who does she look like? Is it Katana from Mortal Kombat? Is it Katana?
Maybe a little bit. She's definitely
Oh, I see. He was wearing a fez back then in that scene.
Yeah. For some fucking reason.
For some reason. I don't know.
Also, they never explain why she's got that brooch around her.
No, I think they were gearing up to explain it in the sequel that never got, because she wanted to be in the sequel so much.
I think that's just a joke. It's a joke that she says she'll be back for the sequel.
Yeah.
And then we see her in the trailer for the sequel at the end.
Yeah, but she's also wearing the brooch the necklace that his mom wore at the beginning of the film.
I don't really know what the significance of that is.
They never explain it.
No, they never explain it.
Maybe that's the joke. Maybe that is just the joke.
Maybe.
That like, oh my god, then they do the tongue fighting. The tongue fighting is the best. But then the little face comes out.
Fucking sense.
They go to French kiss, but it's like their tongues are kung fu fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then he says,
sure.
Oh yeah, every little thing that she says, he responds with
It's the same every time. And they do it like 3 or 4 times, and it was still funny. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. Like, I hate a repetitive joke, like after like the 3rd or 4th time, but it works somehow.
It's great.
And when she leaves, he then goes, "Well, at least I have you, boy." And then the dog silently barks, lies down. Then there's a bit of a pause, and then we get the dubbed bark of the dog. The timing of it is so good.
It is.
Oh my god. But then there's a fight scene with Master Tang and Betty. Master Tang is like, he's coughing. He's like, he looks like he's on the verge of death. He's old. He's like, he's coughing away. He doesn't look well. And they have a fight to MC Hammer. You can't touch this, which I'm not quite. I don't know if I understand.
Yeah. Do we need to understand though?
Maybe not. I don't know if that was a reference to something, like an advert or something of the period.
Well, I think they had like the Taco Bell before, literally just before that, as they were eating out in the garden, and then, but they had like various songs of the like around that time that were just randomly playing throughout, like the guy with the boombox. And, you know,
it's a mix a lot we get.
Yeah, so we get random bits of like music, you know, throughout. It kind of works, you know, because you're obviously expecting something else, so they're just like, okay, yeah, put in fucking MC Hammer, that'll work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't even remember that fight. It was just nonsense. I don't think very much happened in it.
What, the fight with Betty and the
Tang.
Master?
Yeah, I don't think it was very interesting.
It wasn't because he's like choking to death and then Betty's like, do you need a glass of water or something?
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
Oh,
but more importantly, Chosen One is walking in the countryside, and this is when we see the flying pyramid in the sky. Like, it's clear as day in the background, floating by. And then he hears in his head Woe's words to him, "Remember to avoid the meadow." And then we get one of the cringiest scenes, I think, of the film.
Oh, the fuck! I mean, there were like some funny parts in it, but the whole scene is insane. Also, sorry, before this, the fucking line, I don't remember who says it, but he says, "Let your anger be like a monkey in a piñata." And he says, "Goodbye, Sally." Yeah. He says, "The name is Betty, you son of a pig." I can't. The lines in that scene just set me over the edge.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fantastic.
There's so much like deadpan line delivery as well. But then you've got, I think before he goes to the meadow, he talks to Ling. And I think it's just a whole sequence of her going,
yeah, which is like, okay.
Like a car alarm or something going off.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and then the fight scene with the cow.
Yeah. Which
Fight the
is
cow.
just fucking shit.
It's insane.
Really bad CG. It looks like a cartoon.
The thing, I think there were two parts of that made me laugh out loud. It was when he was like punching the shit out of the udder, and then he bites one of the udder nipples.
Oh God! Yeah, he's like he pinches and flicks and then bites the fucking nipples on the udder.
Yeah, it was so like the nipple looked so fucking real and disturbing. I was like,
because it was real. It wasn't a real nipple, but it was an actual real practical effect compared to the really shit CG of the cow.
Yeah. And I just in my notes I put Matrix cow squirt dodge.
The bullet time thing with milk.
Yeah. And then death by Milky. Because he like fucking milks it to death. Which is, that's how that works, right? The whole cow is just made up of milk.
That's how cows are.
Yeah. So if you milk them, they just...
Instead of blood and stuff, it's just all milk inside of them.
It's all milker.
It's like, well, Jesus is just made of wine.
And bread.
Yes.
His body
Delicious.
is just a wine and bread soup.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, and then it moves on to... I think in my notes I put, there's a whale in a waterfall. Yeah.
It's so weird. There's such a weird... So Master Payne, Betty is just sort of fucking around with this weapon on the edge of a waterfall, and the Chosen One is like yelling at him, and the Chosen One has his little baby booties, and he shows these booties, and Betty says, "Well, you've grown. I thought you looked familiar. Sorry, I didn't recognize you without crap in your pants." Which I liked. I liked that line, and the delivery of it was great. The Chosen One is about to fight Betty, but then Ling's father just appears out of nowhere and tries to stop him. He gets clawed by the metal claw.
Did you notice the Titanic when it was under the waterfall?
The
by the way,
fuck?
No.
What?
There was a Titanic under the as there was a shot above the waterfall, you can see the Titanic there.
Oh my God, there's so many little Easter
bullshit.
eggs.
Yeah.
There are, yeah.
But there's a whale, 100%.
Yeah, there was meant to be like, I read a piece of trivia about that. They wanted to do like a taxi at first, but then they changed it to a whale. But again, like there's no real context as to why.
Neither of it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's no difference, is it? Like whether it's a freaking taxi or a whale, both are nonsense.
It's very what do they used to call it? Monkey cheese or something. When it's just like random things happening and it's funny. Like, ooh, random nonsense. Is it monkey cheese?
What is it like in this style when we're talking about this style of movie? Like the parody?
No, the
satire?
style of humor of just putting random things together. Like, the surreal sort of
I call
I
that.
have never heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of monkey cheese. All I know is that it's very Gen Z and millennial humor when it's just very random and left field and all over the place. But never heard of monkey cheese.
This is before Gen Z, though. This is not Zoomer.
No,
film.
but they love that kind of random shit. Like, they've taken millennial humor and this kind of humor and they've, like, made a whole... It's like with art. The the different styles of art. You have like an original style and then you make another style based on that.
This film is art, G. You're 100% right.
Well,
I agree.
If you think about it, it is, because it's based on another film and they've made something else out of that film.
Transformative art, yeah.
Exactly. I'm 14 and this is deep.
God. Betty retrieves the baby shoes, though, as like a trophy. And I guess he assumes the chosen one is dead at this point. For like maybe the first time, and it happens like again and again. But he just assumes that chosen one is gone.
Yeah, and he gets it wrong every time. But Ling's father is also like wounded as well in bed.
Yeah,
like,
he also goes wee wee wee.
Chosen one sort of helps Ling's father back to like the friendly compound school place where Master Tang is. Yeah. And Master Tang recognizes that Ling's father is the guy from the flashback who foretold the coming of the chosen one.
And killed the dog with farting.
Yeah. Anyway, Ling's dad just fucking dies.
Oh, please don't skip over the part where the fucking master is like groping his wound. Like a
don't whine. This is working for both of us. This is just like how it hurts. That is my wound.
Oh my god, it's so weird. It's so uncomfortably weird. Like he's like sexually harassing him with his wound, and then he just dies.
There's a line somewhere afterwards where it's after that where the chosen one is talking to Ling, and he says, "I'm sorry he died. I guess his wound never healed." And it was like, because he was just like groping it.
Because he's poking like the holes.
Yeah.
This is when Ling says the famous line, oh my god, "Oh man, I'm a little tiny horny honey."
Yeah. Yeah, I had that in my notes, but I didn't remember if that was
I didn't want you to say it.
I didn't.
I wanted to take one for the team by being the one to say it.
He was my father all my life. He was my friend. I loved him.
I loved that line so much. But yeah, I had that line in my notes, but I couldn't remember if the master had said that or if it was Ling. And then she says, "Take me, man meat."
Oh, yes, I love "Take Me, Man Meat."
And then she puts her robe back on and she says, "I don't want you to think I'm a slut." Then she puts it back on.
She takes it off, puts it on, takes it off, puts it on.
They get the weird umming and humming. But yeah, her removing her robe, putting it back on.
I love that.
Like 7 times.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, take me, but I don't want you to think I'm a slut." And then it's like, oh my god, woman.
And the look on his face, like the glee on his face every time she removes the robe.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And then the confusion and disappointment when she like quickly puts it back up again.
So he's blue-balled, but her dad did just die, so
yeah.
Sometimes that's how people cope with grief.
Yeah, that's true. The chosen one then asks for like some sort of divine guidance, looking up at the sky, and Mufasa, actually.
Mufasa, yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. And it looks so bad as well.
It's insane. Oh wait, no, I can see the 2 symbols. Oh my god, did he actually explain it here with the?
I don't think.
He doesn't explain anything. He just gives like vague words, and that's part of the joke.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm talking in a puzzle, and I'm not making sense," and it's like,
"Look to the sky."
Yeah,
things like that.
Fucking blending Mulan and the Lion King.
And he makes a joke about CNN, which apparently
he signs it off, and he's like, "This is CNN,"
so
and then just fades.
There is some trivia around that.
Oh.
Actually,
yeah.
So basically, the guy
the trivia is just explaining what the joke is to people that don't understand the reference.
Because we're British.
Yeah.
The guy, James Earl Jones, who voiced Mufasa, also did the CNN bumpers for a time, I guess, saying this is CNN. So that's basically it.
Oh, okay.
Hooray!
Hey!
I find it funny now that I know the joke.
I don't know. Right.
Jokes are always funnier when you have to explain them.
Yeah,
personally.
100%.
Yeah.
But this is really the next bit is really funny. I found it hilarious.
I like it too.
Betty's going through some parchments, and there's a bunch of paintings of tigers on the one he's looking at, and he goes, tiger, tiger, tiger. And then he gets another one out and there's birds on it. He goes, birdie, birdie, birdie.
I love this scene. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. He's just like
so fucking stupid.
He's pointing at it as well. And it's like, tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger, tiger.
How is G so good at that voice?
I don't know.
It's really good.
I'm telling you, it's unlocked something in my brain because I watched this movie so long ago, and I'm pretty sure I used to quote it with my brother.
The film Lucy.
Yeah, it's a very quotable film, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think me and my brother used to quote it to each other all the time. So I think it's just unlocking that memory for me.
Yeah.
Birdie.
There's a man in black, his like assistant guy, and then Betty goes, I'm a great magician. Your clothes are red. And then there's a shot of a guy in red.
Yeah.
A completely unrelated scene from the original footage of the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
they're trying to piece it together that like he's using different scenes with the same people, and obviously they're not wearing the same color clothes
That's
throughout
brilliant.
it. So
That is
he has to make it make sense. That's the only bit that he thinks he wants to make sense, though.
Yeah, that's
And then
hilarious.
a guy walks in and informs Betty the chosen one is still alive. And then he replies with, your clothes are black. And then the guy in red is now the guy in black.
Yeah.
And then he goes, red clothes. And then it's the shot of the guy in red again.
Yeah, because it's
fucking weird.
It's the inconsistency because they'd like obviously use that scene of that guy at a different time, but they didn't have any other footage, so they were like maybe just use that footage in that scene, which is why he like decided to say, "Oh, I'm a magician." The thing that made me laugh in that scene was when he says Orson and then Wells for no reason.
Wells?
For
It's
no
like the call and response thing.
Yeah. What the fuck? And then he says, kill him dead, which always confuses me because it's like, that is the point. He's like, I'm going to kill him dead. It's like, that is, you don't need to explain it. That's what killing means.
There's, so the guy that's in red, he asks what the evil council's plan is. And Betty responds with, it is a bad, bad plan that will hurt many people that are good. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh.
And then he says that he plans to kill the chosen one with like a stone or a rock.
Yes.
Like that's his plan. Brilliant.
Yeah.
He then goes on a killing spree of ventriloquists.
Oh, the two ventriloquists in the guarding the temple.
So, oh my god, they just get fucking killed. And he captures Ling.
Yes.
And this is when he goes like full Skeletor. Yeah, I like him feisty.
Yeah.
And she goes, woo! And he goes, yeah. And she goes, woo! And he goes, woo! She goes on and on.
I love
whatever their original dialogue was, no idea.
Yeah, and I think that's the part where he's wearing the Betty name tag now because everyone keeps like getting it wrong. At one point they called him Sally. Oh, so good.
But things really escalate now because he goes on a killing spree of even more people. He ambushes Tang, I think, or is it Wimplo first?
No, I think it's Tang first.
Yeah, this is the one with Baby Got Back playing by Sir Mix-a-Lot. And he just kills Tang, he kills Wimplo, he claws them all with his metal claws. And then Ling has got a friend. I don't even know who this guy is. And the friend goes to her, you go that way, I'll go home. And he just runs off.
Yeah, it's great. Very good.
He just runs off. But this is the bit when she sees the chosen one, but he's really, really far away. And he's running towards her, and he's like, I'm coming, Ling, I'm coming.
It's so good.
Stay there, I'm coming. And it just takes so long. he just can't close that distance. But when he finally does, he gets caught by a little tiny net.
Yes.
And he's trapped. And presumably he will die.
Well, yeah. There's a bit where Betty explains that it's a you die in the tiny net.
Yeah.
In
It's a bit later.
net. Yeah. We get the intermission.
Oh my god, the intermission.
And Betty tells us to go grab some snacks and a drink, a carbonated beverage, I think it was.
And I hope they have ices.
It's brilliant because they're using like lines and imagery from the film. Like I think my favorite one was the Chosen one. It was like, I have chosen this or that.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, for fuck's sake, this movie. Like there was so much like ad placement, and it's like they probably didn't even get like the Taco Bell, the Hooters, and all the other stuff. I'm just like,
God,
no.
of course not. No.
I found that funny, but obviously it's a trope that they're making fun of.
Yeah.
With those films at the time, just like having the most misplaced, out of pocket fucking ad placements that don't belong whatsoever.
Fucking Hooters in this tiny village in China.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Then we discover that Tang isn't actually quite dead. And he asks the Chosen One, "Do I look all right?" And he goes, sure. On a scale from 1 to 10.
1.
1. And then we get the line from Tang. He confesses with his dying breath. Listen, and listen well. I really like the band NSYNC. My favorite member is Harpo. I think there's a Harpo.
Yeah, I think there is.
I think
If
so.
not, there should be. All right, their next hit may be a boom, 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 boom.
Oh my god.
It's
So
really
everyone
good.
is fucking dead.
Well,
Everyone the
he's-
Chosen One's ever cared for is dead. Even the
Yeah.
dog.
Well,
the dog is fucking dead.
Yeah, and he's running between each of them going...
And Ling.
Yeah. He's running between all of them, like... And they die, and then he finds someone else, and he runs off. And then he hears... How does he figure it out? He hears that Master Tang still alive.
Yeah, he can
He's
hear
like, why
him.
did you run away?
Yeah, and he
Because
explains
Tang
like...
said, I just went, ah.
Yeah, and
Just
he
because
like...
someone goes, ah, doesn't mean they're dying.
Exactly. He like throws his head back and he like lays back down. It's like, I'm not actually... I'm not dying.
They're not dead. They're all barely alive. Even the dog. The dog runs out. The dog's fine now. And then the guy goes, "Oh, so Wimplo!" And then he runs to Wimplo. We don't see anything. We just
You
hear
hear the flies buzzing.
Wimplo is fucking dead.
Yes.
No, I was so upset because I saw like, I was like, oh no, the master's he's dead, he's dying. I'm like, oh no, Ling is dead too. Then I was like, oh my god, not the dog, not the dog.
That was the really upsetting thing, wasn't it?
Yes, because the dog was on his back and he's whimpering and he's got like blood. And I'm like, no, please.
You're gonna die. Ooh.
But they're all fine. They're all apart from
They're all
Wimplo.
okay.
Wimplo is dead.
Oh yeah,
Confirmed.
Yeah,
nobody
that's
cares.
fine.
That's fine.
And then we get the Chosen One with the line saying, "Betty's gone too far. Killing is wrong and bad. There should be a new, stronger word for killing, like bad wrong or badong. Yes, killing is badong. From this moment, I will stand for the opposite of killing. Gnobdab." What?
Oh my god, like just fucking word salad nonsense, isn't it?
Brill.
Absolute fucking nonsense. And Badong is, of course, a county in China.
Yeah.
A little bit of trivia there.
Oh, that is okay.
Yeah. Then we get another sort of montage-y style scene where he's trying to attack a bunch of mannequins. But they've all got like a protective metal pyramid on their armor. And it means that he can't quite get them because he always gets like spiked
Yes.
by these pyramids.
They all look
And
like
he's-
Betty with the same haircut, which I
Yeah,
Got a
you make sure
moustache
that they've all got
painted on.
the mustache and the hair.
the hair being like half, like in the middle
Half
of his
bald.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And his hands just get real fucked up from trying to attack him. They get spiked by these weird pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
And Ling asks him if it hurts. And he like sort of shakes his head. And then she squeezes a lemon onto the palms of his hands.
Fucking
on the
psycho.
bleeding wreck. And then she goes, how about now? And then she shakes salt onto them. And now...
How about now?
He doesn't feel anything. Then she breaks a thermometer and pours the mercury into
on
his palms.
Bloody hell.
Fuck. And then he like rubs her hair. She's like, "Oh,
rub it in my hair.
Rub it in my hair." And then she pours like lantern oil or something onto his palms and sets fire to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he raises these 2 terrible prosthetic arms that are on fire. I love it.
Somehow this has done the job, though. He's reached the next level.
He's
And
ascended.
he can attack the mannequins. Yeah. He dinged.
My lord. But yeah, I think the whole point is he can't like do any serious damage to Betty if he can't remove those 2 triangle pins.
And
on
they
his
hurt
chest.
too much, so he has to...
But now he doesn't feel pain.
He doesn't
in his
feel pain.
Palms.
So he can deal with it.
Betty assumes the Chosen One is dead because of the tiny net. This is the scene.
Yes.
And he's happy and almost celebrating until he gets a message from the evil council. And he goes to their weird echoey dark chamber.
Yeah. Which isn't in France.
No. We're not sure where it is.
No.
But they inform him the Chosen One's alive and he's at the temple. And there's a weird joke that I don't quite get. It's a reference to something when he's like he's doing an announcer voice or something.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
that's lost on me as an Englishman. I don't get that. Chosen One is worried because he like plays through in his head how the attacks will go on Betty. And whatever technique or tactics he uses, there's like a counter or a flaw to everything. But then he gets an idea. And then we go to the town. And he's got children playing in the street and they're singing a song.
Yes, we are children, isn't it?
We're children. We're children. They're just singing that over and over again.
Yeah. Which is, good.
The Chosen One is in a shop and he asks, he demands of the shopkeeper, I'll take a pound of nuts. And this is when we get the line.
That's a lot of nuts. Do you want fries with that?
That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that? Oh my
I love
God.
the freaking Motorola flip
Yelling.
phone at the end of that.
Yeah.
Though. That's what got me.
When the Chosen One leaves, the nut vendor pops out this flip phone.
Yeah.
He just left with nuts. He's just yelling this.
Be very loud so anyone can overhear.
Yeah,
like
not
you know
subtle.
he's working for the council, but
Yeah, not
he's working for Betty, but
for
he's
the Chinese Illuminati.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Or
the
the
fuck.
Chilluminati for short.
Oh, throwback.
And we see what the Chosen One needs the nuts for. He's gathering squirrels.
He's gathering squirrels.
His rodent homies, he needs them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then we get this is the final fight of the movie. The Chosen One and Betty, the final showdown. There's some weird scenes with the boombox.
But Black Betty, that's iconic.
Whoa, Black Betty, bam,
Bam,
lam.
lam, whoa, Black Betty, bam, lam, Black Betty and a tramp, bam, lam.
Bam, lam.
And the Chosen One says, "You killed my family," and I don't like that kind of thing.
I love that line. It's so
It's
dumb.
very good.
We get some good fights. Betty gets thrown out of a window or something, or through a door or a wall.
Whatever it is.
There's some wire work when they're like fighting in midair. And then the doggy humps Betty's leg.
Yeah, which is
And-
the distraction he needed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it worked. Doggy hump.
He humped
did the
him, so
job.
he was able to get those pesky little pins off.
Yeah.
And then...
But then,
Oh,
Oh.
this is the climax.
oh,
The pyramid.
A giant pyramid descends from the sky. And I thought it looked quite good. I'm not going to lie. I thought the CG for the pyramid
It actually wasn't
mostly
bad.
looked okay.
Yeah, it was okay in some lights. It didn't look too terrible.
It doesn't look so good when like a speaker sort of pops out of it and then they play a French song revealing
that
they're
looks terrible.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the counts on the from the mysterious pyramids are French, and then he goes stinky pits and all, baby. Bloody hell.
I think that's possibly the most racist part.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
And the pyramid beams down a pair of magical braces onto Betty, which is
Yes.
apparently a thing they can do.
Yeah.
And they've got the powers of paralysis. Whatever part of the body is struck by the braces is paralyzed.
Mm.
And the chosen one, first one arm and then the second arm is paralyzed. And he's just sort of flopping his arms around, trying to get in. But obviously he's fucked at this point. He's knocked to the ground by Betty,
Yep.
who victoriously shows the baby booties. He may even say baby booties.
He
at that
probably
point.
does. Yeah.
Then we get flashbacks to, the family dying, the monotit girl, Mufasa, with "you need to open your mouth." And Jesus Christ. This is when we see Tonguey again,
Oh,
the
yeah.
mark of the
Oh.
chosen
I
one.
almost forgot about it. I almost forgot.
Me too. I almost forgot he existed.
Yeah.
Almost.
But then Chosen One opens his mouth and this fucking tongue just extends out, wraps around the corner of the pyramid up in the sky, spins it around and then it explodes somehow?
Yeah, he basically spins it like a fucking Beyblade and then just implodes. And then all the other pyramids like
There
go
were
back
other
up.
pyramids? I didn't even know there
there
were
are
other
loads of-
pyramids.
there's
Although
loads. Yeah.
Don't we see them in this one shot?
Pyramids.
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of them.
Yeah, they go like, because you throughout the movie you see either those little pyramids like breadcrumb throughout, like when he's
Yes.
like
Yeah, but I didn't know there was
walking
a bunch of them. I thought it was just one.
I did miss. Yeah, I did miss a lot of them though.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, they're kind of easy to miss because they don't linger around too long. But yeah, they go back into the hole like a fucking toilet being flushed, and they just get all sucked
off I
back up.
go.
Yeah, and they're off, and then we're just left with a dying Betty with his two squirting blood holes in his chest.
Well, no, I mean, we got to have the Chosen One can move his hands again, and that's when he grabs Betty, like rips off the things, and then he gets hit with a powerful
Yeah.
blow to his chest, and it goes flying back.
Oh my
And Betty's
god!
like
Yes.
stumbling around with all the blood gushing out. And he falls over and he says, "Ouch, I fell and hurt my tummy."
And there was something that saved the Chosen One.
Which is one of the best
Mhm.
things in the movie.
That saved that took the impact of the hit to the chest. He removes from his top a flattened squirrel with a handprint in it, absolutely squashed flat with a handprint, and he says, "Now it's time for my side of the bargain," and he just pours the nuts into the handprint.
And then the handprint just starts like fucking scurrying away like a fucking squirrel Roomba with nuts inside of him. And the
Yeah,
dog is
somehow
really
the squirrel's
happy.
still alive.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
dog's barking and loves it.
Yeah, he loves it.
But how is that squirrel still alive?
it's
It's
a very strong squirrel.
it's like the Chinese ancestors, they're there to like look over him and protect him, but he's got squirrels and rodents instead. And
I guess
uses
so.
them as nunchucks, as a fucking a chest impact plate. They're great.
They're great.
They're
What
great.
guys?
I love
Great
them.
guys.
They're great.
You don't need any other explanation, really.
No.
They are what they
then
are.
Then Ling runs up to the Chosen One, briefly removes her top and puts it back on again.
Yes.
She does it one last time, one last flash.
Thank you.
We only
Thank
ever
you,
see her
Lynn.
back. We never see her boobs.
No, we don't. We are not worthy.
And this is when we get the preview of Kung Pao 2 with all these batshit insane scenes. With all this weird CG and we see Woe again.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, you see Ling flying. There's a fucking dinosaur foot at one point.
It's a giant fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, chest hole meat spinny man is back and he's using that
Meat spinny man,
and he's using that against enemies on a chain.
Yep.
There's a whole like now the cow has like allies. The CGI cow has allies.
The farmyard animals.
Yeah, and they want their revenge on the chosen one. And yeah, it's just chaos, really.
The film that never got made, that was never intended to be made at this point.
Well, I don't know whether it was intended to be. I guess it wasn't really. It's a joke in term like because Mel Brooks used to do that sort of thing. Put a fake trailer for a sequel,
like Jews in space.
Yeah, like really dumb shit. That's funny, and it could be that, but also like I think he said that he was going to make a spiritual successor or something to that effect.
I love the bloopers at the end, or like or how it was done, sort of.
There's BTS footage.
So I got really mad at the fake outtakes. You know, I thought
it was weird because there was like genuine behind the scenes of how it was made.
I loved
the chroma
genuine. I loved the genuine ones.
There were genuine goofs with like, "That's a lot of nuts," and the guy's like, "Could you do a bit quieter?" He cracks up. But then we get the fake ones, which I didn't like them that much either.
No.
Oh.
I just thought it was. I just didn't. I wasn't really into it, I guess. But yeah, I liked the real behind the scenes. I would have loved to see more of that.
Oh god, yeah. It's probably on a DVD somewhere.
Yeah,
that was
on the DVD. There is the option to watch the film with the original dialogue. Well, the lines not from the film, but the original dialogue that he. Well, I guess it is from the original film, but also the ones that he wrote, like the nonsense dialogue, the nonsense lines. So there was that option to watch it with that, and I want to see it, but I also don't want to buy the fucking DVD. So I'll have to just find it somewhere, I guess.
It's probably somewhere.
Because I'm never going to watch it again.
No,
I mean, I might watch it again.
You've seen it like twice now, right?
At least twice. So I mean, I don't need to see it again, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's the film.
Fine.
That's the movie.
That's the film.
That
was Kung Pao, Tongue of Fury, Fist of Fury. Whatever it's called. Yeah.
Honestly, Tongue of Fury, Enter the Fist,
yeah.
Which I guess is a joke in itself. It's a joke about fisting, once again. But it has got nothing to do with a tongue, which it kind of should do.
No. Feels like maybe an afterthought, Tonguey. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Tonguey is supposed to be the reason why he's so special, right? It's the infinite wisdom, so there's just no...
There was no wisdom from that tongue.
No, there was nothing. It didn't make him fucking wise, that's for sure.
No. Anyway, final thoughts. Sophie, this was your pick.
Absolutely ridiculous. Awful CGI. Tongue unnecessary. Fake outtakes pretty bad. Story meh. But made me laugh a lot. Very cleverly done. Worth rewatching there. And I wish there had been a sequel. And I gave it a score of 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
What the fuck? What? I'm sorry? What the fuck? 8.5. Good Lord.
I just laughed so much, and I think that that's worth the effort that went into it. How stupid it is. Because me and Rosie used to do this. We used to like put some telly on and mute it and make up our own lines for it. So it's kind of that's what we like to do for fun.
Sophie,
and I thought it was great.
You gave Frankenhooker 10.
Yeah.
And this is your second highest rated film.
Yeah, it's above Daredreamer, isn't it?
It's above Daredreamer. It's above Dead Again.
I mean, of course, I love the films that I pick.
Love
Right?
Extra.
Well, yeah, Extra is a bit fucking hard. There's some places.
Good lord. Good lord. 8.5. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, it was pretty high.
What about you, G?
Yeah, like, so I've seen it before, as I mentioned, back whenever it probably came out. I was probably very young at the time, and it's very, like, that time frame humor, you know, around the sort of parody, satire, you know, like those kinds of Ben Stiller movies where they made fun of those kinds of those movies, like martial arts movies.
It's a very Ben Stiller kind of film, isn't it?
It is, and he
Really?
kind of like has the same vibe, doesn't he?
Yeah, he kind of
does,
looks
yeah.
the same and acts the same. So yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a silly film. It's obviously not meant to be taken too seriously. Yeah, I remember like watching through it. I remember a lot of the lines and stuff that made me laugh, but you know, it's not my kind of film, so to speak. I guess not now anyway. I don't know if it's because I'm older and my humor is a bit different, or it's a bit more, it's based on that kind of humor, but it's a bit different now. So probably a 4 out of 10, I would say. I think it's
That
sort
makes
of
sense.
more. Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's still funny. It's still, you know, got laughs out of me. Like, that's probably why I have it in such a at that level. It does a good job.
Yeah.
It does a good job. And yeah, it was a good rewatch from compared to like when I watched it back when I was younger to now. It's quite the experience.
Your ratings tend to be a bit more objective. I think me and Sophie are a bit more
We're all over the
persuaded
fucking place.
by things we like and
Yeah.
just overrate
Yeah,
them,
like
but-
you guys would be like, oh, because of that, it's getting an extra point.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just because like I
No.
don't know how much of the films, because there's obviously a lot of original scenes from that original movie, the Tiger and Crane Fists. So I don't know how much they not that it matters, but like how much more work they put into it on top, because there was the CGI, there was the extra actors and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's a 4. It was funny. It was enjoyable. It was like it was relatively short film too, so it was an easy, enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
Sure.
What about you, Simon?
It's tricky because I mean it did have some really, really funny moments, but I found it kind of oddly tiring to watch. Like the humor was non-stop, the action was just over the top and oh my god, hard to follow a lot of times. I don't know. I think it's a very novel film. There's things in this movie that you would never have seen before.
Like
in a
what,
motion
sorry?
picture. Like the fight with the fucking cow. Like it's insane. Even Tonguey, the existence of Tonguey is so bizarre.
I guess it was
Yeah,
like that scene in Tropic Thunder where he fights the panda, but the panda isn't like CGI nightmare.
It's a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Which made it better, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 100% made it better.
It made it better. Yeah, the CGI I found did take me out of it, which I guess is like a mark down in some aspects. But yeah.
I thought as a parody it worked. You know, I appreciated that they used this footage from a long forgotten kung fu movie. As Sophie said, the plot is completely non-existent. But as a comedy, I laughed much more at this than I did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Tropic Thunder. I thought it was much funnier than both those films.
Oh, so have you seen this one before?
No.
Okay.
I thought I had, but absolutely I have not watched this before.
Interesting. Okay.
Even though I found it really funny and laughed a lot, I was still relieved when it ended. So I was like, oh my God, finally. I just need a break. I need a break. Solid as a comedy, not a great film. I gave it 6 out of 10. You know, I appreciated just how funny it was, but it is just a whole pile of nonsense.
Stupid. Yeah, it's just a ridiculous, stupid film, innit?
Which is that's like between your two scores, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That checks out. That checks out pretty well.
sure does.
Ab.
I guess the trivia, one of the most important things is to note that the director and star, Steve Odekirk, he's huge. He's huge. He was the project consultant for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. After it became a massive success, he then took over the sequel, When Nature Calls. He directed and wrote the sequel.
Yes.
He co-wrote The Nutty Professor. He wrote the
Yes.
screenplays for Patch Adams, Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps,
Yes.
Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius,
Genius.
and
Boy, Julius.
Bruce Almighty. He wrote the
Wow.
screenplay for Bruce Almighty.
That's
And it's
Insane.
absolutely mad because, yeah, it's like those are big films.
They are.
Yeah.
And it's it's strange how different they are to this film.
Mm.
But
In a
he's
lot of
also
ways.
famous for doing those thumb films.
Yeah.
Those weird thumb movies. Which,
Yeah.
yeah.
In terms
Which
of
are basically the annoying orange, but it's thumbs doing like Star Wars.
I think that's why I
That's
hate it. I hate the tongue so much because the annoying
It's
orange humor.
It's just like early 2000s stupid humor in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not keen on that sort of thing, but
Have you got any other trivia you might have found, Lades?
Lades
Leads.
or Lades. I'm trying to think of the good ones, but I've completely
Well,
lost.
in terms of the budget and the the box office, so it was on a budget of 10 million, and it made 17 million overall. I think.
Which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
fine.
that's pretty
pretty
fine.
good.
That's not bad. So at least they made some money back, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, probably not. But I think it just got lost in the ether,
Yeah.
as it works with movies. Have you got any trivia? Did either of you find
Well, I've
anything?
sort of-
We've
I
said
mean, I've-
things. throughout it.
I've mentioned things. The dog was played by Banjo.
The dog
dog
was
called
played by Banjo.
Yeah. That's
You were
quite
great,
important.
Banjo. You were great.
Banjo, well done, son. You are absolutely brilliant.
Loved you in it.
I love you,
Banjo.
son.
He was really good.
I
He
love
was
you,
really
boy.
good.
So how racist do we
actually-
think the movie was? Do we have anything that we want to?
I mean, I don't think it's racist. It's not really making fun of people.
I don't think it is either. Maybe against the
No.
French.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't really think his like the dubbing of any of the other ones are like he doesn't go into the stereotypical
He doesn't do the flied
voices.
lice thing.
Yeah,
does
he doesn't.
No.
He doesn't
That's
do
the
any of
big
that.
deal.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
do. He doesn't do any of that. He gives the people in the movie like a southern accent. Like I guess there's like gay tropes in there as well.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not making fun of the people, and he's not making fun of the race, and he's not
just
making fun of the.
Jokes. Like that's
It-
all.
yeah.
it is.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it seems like he loves kung fu movies.
Well,
Yeah.
he is good at martial arts himself. He's practiced that a lot. I've got a bit of trivia for you. All of the new footage was shot with the actors saying nonsense lines, often discussions of pies and pastries, and
Amazing.
redubbed with the final dialogue so what is heard would never match lip movements. The DVD contains the option to view the entire movie with this original audio track.
Talking
Oh
about
my
pies and
god,
pastries,
that's
The
fucking
Brilliant.
DVD also includes an additional audio track with all of the overdubbed dialogue spoken in a serious tone by a Shakespearean actor.
oh my god.
Also included on the DVD are several sequences with alternate lines of dialogue than heard in the main film.
Fantastic.
So the development part about the Tongue of Fury is so that despite the trailer at the end being done as a parody, Steve Odekirk has been trying to get a proper sequel for the film for 20 years.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. It's never going to get made.
I mean, maybe
Never gonna get made.
eventually. I wonder how old
Maybe
he
it
is
needs
now.
to crowdsource it.
Yeah, Kickstart.
Yeah,
Get 10 million from people.
it can happen.
Do we think this would make a good video game? Lades.
Lades. Where my lades
It's like short for
at?
ladies.
Yeah.
Lades.
Personally, no. I don't think it would.
It's just insane. It would just be like a really bad 2000s like PlayStation game. Like I saw like a Charlie's Angels one like a couple weeks ago that was made
God.
for like the PlayStation 1 or no, so the PlayStation 2 or something.
One of these movie tie-in games that was just shitted out.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Like that's what that would be, and it was just
Yeah.
horrible and horrendous, and like it felt like such an afterthought. But
I can picture it being a Mario-style platformer with an attack like Yoshi's tongue thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that would
my god,
that would potentially work. Yeah.
okay, yeah, and he goes through the levels, and it's just like platformer level based, you know, from start to finish, and you got to keep scrolling along. So yeah, I think that could work.
Oh my goodness.
Right,
Okay, we're
Well,
done.
that was
Done. That was
Enter
Kung
the Fist.
Pao.
Kung Pao.
Kung
Enter my
Pao.
fist.
Enter the Fist.
Entering my fist.
Entering your fist.
Are there any changes to your curated lists of films?
Well, I do have additions, obviously, an addition to replace that. And it's really hard to pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potential replacements there.
Christ.
So I'm going to roll a d10 to choose which one of those goes on my list.
Oh my god, should we do it in the room?
yeah,
Should we
yeah,
do it
yeah.
in the room? Not
Anyway,
that it matters.
Does
but it'll
Just
be-
have any changes?
What do I have? So I've still got The Fly, Raiders of the Lost Ark, John Carpenter's They Live, The Great Gatsby, Sea of Love, and Jaws.
Very good.
Very good.
So yeah, I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that for now.
I have My Fair Lady still on there. Heather's The Brood, Equilibrium, Krull,
Yes.
and oh, that's weird. I didn't save it. I've replaced North by Northwest, as I said, with Iron Sky, the Nazis on the moon.
Nazis on
Sci-fi.
the moon.
I do want to get
No.
I do want to get Shutter Island on my list, hopefully at some point, because I
Yeah.
love that film.
Oh.
Have you guys seen it before?
I have. I did like it, I think.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I remember it.
Yeah,
Is what I'm saying. I remember having watched it. So that's something.
that's good. That's good. It's one of those twisty turny, great reveal type of films.
Yeah, I've seen it, so
okay.
it
I'll
feels
think
like the
about
impact will be reduced. But I
I don't
think I'll be
remember
up for
a
rewatching it.
single fucking thing.
Okay.
So
I'll be up for it.
let's go.
Okay, cool. Let's roll that dice, baby.
So I'm going to roll a dice, just a d10, to decide which of my picks are replacing Kung Pao. You ready?
Okay.
Roll a d10. It's 10, which is Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Oh my god!
Pog.
3?
Oh, yeah, 3. It's the best one.
Which fucking one is 3?
Pog.
It's the one where they're counterfeiting, and there's like a fucking, what's the an amusement park.
I must have seen it. I
You
think
probably
it's the
have.
third one. No, the second one that I've watched the most.
So the first one is the which is the one with the drugs in the coffee thing. That might be the second one. There's the first one, which is the first one. The second one where he comes back to help them figure out the murder of someone, and there's the big mansion type thing. And then the third one-
That one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know my Beverly Hills Cops, apparently.
Apparently she does.
Apparently I
It
do.
does.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 5 on your list. Okay, this is good. Right. Okay, so we roll a d6 to see which number on each of our lists it could be. To narrow it down to 1 film from each list.
Hmm.
And we're rolling 1. So
Oh.
it is My Fair Lady, The Fly, or Labyrinth.
Ooh.
My God.
So I've been writing a new Soft Focus episode in which I reference The Fly, so it'd be cool to watch that again.
Oh, there we go.
Cool.
Honestly, The Fly is my least favorite of these 3. But,
Why?
oh my God. Because the other 2 are just so good.
Okay.
But, you know, maybe you'll get to see Jeff Goldblum's cock in a jar.
We reference his cock in a jar in like the
We
first
do.
episode, so it'd be like
It'd be nice.
How many
It'd
weeks?
be nice to see it. You know?
Yeah, it'd be nice to just see it in the
This
flesh.
been on your list the whole time.
The whole
since the
time.
start.
This
Oh
is-
my fucking God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we reference it in the first either 0
That's
or
crazy.
1. Yep.
Okay, a 1 or a 2 will be My Fair Lady, a sweet 1960s musical. A 3 or a 4 will be The Fly, where we get to see a cock in a jar. A 5 or a 6 will be David Bowie's pouch.
Labyrinth. Yeah, his
his
cock. His
big cocker.
pipes.
So fingers crossed,
lot of
everyone.
cock.
Fingers crossed.
Except for My Fair Lady.
Oh no! It's a 3. It's a 3. It's The Fly. We're watching The Fly.
No, I'm
My
excited to
least
see that.
favorite. Oh, gutted. Absolutely
I can't
gutted.
believe-
I'm actually quite excited to see it again. So there we go. I'm happy.
Ooh.
Thanks for that.
Bit
Welcome.
of Cronenberg body horror.
I've never
yeah,
seen it, so this will be interesting.
What can I say? You know,
That's The Fly. The Fly. The Fly.
the flea.
The Flea.
So that one guy on Reddit.
The Flea.
Who we
This
keep,
one
who
guy that we keep
ribbing.
bullying.
Poor,
The Fly has won,
poor
sir.
guy.
Make sure you watch it. We'll be checking.
Everybody needs to watch it,
I love
Everybody
it.
needs to watch
or you
it.
won't understand anything.
I opened up The Fly, and the second guy is David Cronenberg, and everyone else has a name, but for him, it just says the gynecologist.
Yeah.
Everyone else
Oh.
has Seth Brindle, Veronica Quaife, Stathis Baranis, and he's just called gynecologist.
Have you seen what's that Cronenberg one with the gynecologist, Simon?
Oh,
And the twins
the
that are
Dead Ring.
dead ringers.
Dead Ringers.
Yeah. Cool.
God.
Great film. I enjoyed that.
They made it into a TV series with Rachel Weisz as the twins.
Did they?
Which, yeah. An interesting take on it.
Hmm.
Well, it's a horrible film. It's a horrible film.
It's a horrible film, but I did enjoy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there we go.
The Fly.
Thanks
Thank
very
you for
much.
listening.
We did it, everybody.
We did it.
Thank
nice
you
day.
for listening to YOMP.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, another week, another YOMP. Thank you so much to everyone for supporting us over on the Patreon. We appreciate all you Giga Yompers very much. Thank you to Native Blood, Lawrence Thibodeau, CPTIJ, Scott5877, Kyle, Enki13, I'm a Robot, Luck33, and Cornelius Vander. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.